One significant cultural difference that I found interesting, and it took me about a couple of weeks to get used to when I moved here, is that, back in India, when someone asks us for something and we first say no. It's like, oh, no, 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 thank you, don't bother. And then they'll insist and they'll be like, no, but like, please. And you're still saying no because you don't want to bother them. And it's culturally, there's a lot of that where you say no 5 6 times and then eventually the other person insists and then you're like, oh, okay, and then you say yes. And when I came to Australia, I remember someone asked me if I wanted to eat something and they were sharing like their food or whatever. And out of habit, I was like, no. And they were like, oh, okay. And and I was like, wait, no, that's not what I meant. Like, I want to eat it. And I'm sure it must have sounded bizarre to them. Like, if you wanted to eat it, why did you say no? So here in Australia, when you say yes, it's yes, and when you say no, it's no, and you don't need to give any explanation. There's no need to be like the communication in that sense is quite direct. So there's no need to be like, oh, I don't want to bother you. I'm trying to be polite. Like I now of course I'm used to it, but to get used to it, I was like, okay, next time someone asks me something and the answer is yes or no, I'm going to take a second, take a deep breath and check in with myself, like, do I actually want it or not? And now, of course, it's become kind of habit. I don't really have to take that pause because I'm like, yes, I want that. Or like, no, I don't want that. That's why even when the gentleman gave me the car, it was really difficult for me to just accept the car. And my first instinct was to say, no, 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 thank you. But I was like, okay, Nana, take a deep breath. You know you need the car. But still because I'm, so used to Indian culture, I still asked him, I said, okay, I'm going to ask you one time, are you sure you want to give me this car? And he's like, yes. And I was like, okay, thank you. This I thought was something that not a lot of us expect. And it doesn't take that long to get used to. And I'm sure there are people who still do that because, they might have worked with Indians in the past, so they've gotten used to the cultural nuances of like, say no the first time because you're trying to be polite and all. But this is quite interesting to learn. And I've always preferred this, but I've gotten used to the Indian style. In India, I used to complain about, I've already said no. Why are you asking me again? Because I meant no. But people would keep asking, like, no, have tea, have tea, have tea. And be like, I just said no. I genuinely don't want to have tea. And then after the 5th or 6th time, I'd just give up and be like, fine, I'll have the tea. Because they're not like shutting up.